Hello, my crafty friends. It's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. It's early Sunday morning and I'm having my cup of coffee. Oh, very good. All right, here's the video that you've been waiting for. My take on Momigami, my results, my mishaps, and now I've got it more down to pat. So I'll show you the first ones that I've made, and I've made them with oil and lotions. Now, the oil, well, I'm not sure because I've had to put them through, I laid that between some dictionary paper and it's come out really, really oily and the paper's absorbed it, which is fine. See, I've had this book and it's quite large and it had Japanese pictures on it and I thought, what a great way to maybe use them. Doing this with the oil. Now I'm doing it, they're quite long, so I'm doing it just landscape so you can see. I'm just going to see if I can zoom out a little bit. There you go. So, and it's not that oily anymore. Now it's been about, I can't remember now, when I tried it, maybe 5 months ago or something. I'll have to have a look on the video. When I first sort of shared it, just a very short one. So, but it's like cloth. This paper is like cloth. And you know what? It's not even oily. So there you go. I haven't opened this up since I've put it in there. Only a short while ago before I'm doing the video, just to make sure it's not on the nose. It has this is done with, I used rice bran oil. I didn't use olive oil because the olive oil was too thick and it was just, to me, it just tore it. But in saying that, my hands, I'm very rough with my hands because I do a lot of gardening, of course. And so you have to be a bit gentle when you do these. But this, I'm very surprised. This has come out really nice. I do have a project for some Japanese craft. I'm going to do a bit of craft with some Japanese themes and with my pianola paper. So it's in the making. So I'm still in the thinking process and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. But this is really, it's just like, see, there's no crinkling and it just folds up like cloth. So this is the one that's I done with oil. So I'm actually surprised because the papers absorbed it, the dictionary papers have absorbed them. And and I've got some holes in here. And that's because I've got too rough. So, and these ones, and look at the colours. So I can use it as a background and a collage because this one's, it's pretty holy. And then I've done a black and white one. And look, I think that looks really cool. You could actually use this as a page and just as a, just an addition for a bit of interest. You can sew that on or onto a piece of, I would sew that on a page with maybe some fabric, and then you're not actually turning this, but see the writing? And again, this is just like this. So I'm surprised, really surprised, that the oil has actually gone out of it so that I can actually put it in a journal. And here's another one, so I'm a bit excited about that. Doesn't that look cool? And this is the other side. I like the coloured side. The ladies with the umbrella. And this you can see. It's a bit torn here. And this one really feels nice. But see how... I haven't got it. Bear with me. It should have been a bit more organised. Just to show you the paper difference. Okay, so that's the dictionary paper that I used, and it's absorbed all the oil now. And it's not, it's not oily. So what I might do is I might use another lot of fresh paper and put it in and just see if there's any oil comes out. If it doesn't, it's a winner. And look at this. This looks really grungy. This was a cover of a magazine, I do believe. Yes. And it's got some holes in here. Okay. That's right. This was a cover of a magazine, had flowers on it. And this is the, look. I mean, if you like grungy, that's, that's about as grungy as you can get. Well, I'm really surprised. I'm stoked, actually. Actually stoked that these didn't, they don't. This has still got a little bit of oil. I can feel it. Look at the print. I've used quite a few pages here. Here's another one. Yep. And then on the underside here, that looks pretty cool. Now, what was this? This was a really big magazine, and it was really hard paper. And I got a bit forceful, so there you go. But I can use it as part of a bit of a collage. Same with this one. Then you've got these flowers on the back. Just lay them out. So I'll definitely put some more fresh papers on there, and I'll see if anything else comes out. Can't make out what that was, but anyway, but you can see still some of the print on there. Can't make out what it was. Now, this is wallpaper. How cool is that? And it doesn't feel greasy. Wow. I'm just going to see if I've got a piece of that. Just bear with me. I only have a little piece left. Look, see the difference? And then you've got this. Doesn't that look cool? Oh, there it is. I've already put it in there, I think. Isn't that great? And I was going to... Did I do one? Oh, I did. Oh, there you go. I put some pieces in here. Dear, my clever cookie. Okay. Well, I don't need... So this is the next wallpaper. And this is what it's turned out like. Now, some of it, you'll find the backing will come off. And just there like that. Okay? But I'll leave it on. Or you can glue it back on. But doesn't that look cool? Right. Okay. I don't need that. And then we have, oh yeah, I like that. That was wallpaper as well. Okay. And this is wallpaper, and you can see how the backing comes off. And it's got a few holes there. Okay, well that was good. This is wrapping paper, believe it or not. And I got a bit brutal with that one. And I'm very surprised that this did not. This is wrapping paper. I think I've got some of those in those other samples I want to show you. This was wrapping paper. It was very glossy. But it's just like cloth. I'm actually really happy. This is wrapping paper. This was, oh no, that's not supposed to be in there. This is just normal paper. Where have I got it? Normal paper. This is just normal paper. Coffee dyed paper. And that's how that turned out. Okay. So as you can see, some of these don't have much oil left on it, which is good. This was photo paper because it's got the bit of shiny bits in there that you might see there. Let's see if I can see some shiny bits. It was, and I coffee dyed it, and it's very thick. But you can just, it just doesn't take much. It just really does feel like cloth. And I think that was that. So that was the packet that I've had this in one of those big plastic envelopes, which I've put somewhere. I'll put that in later. And I've had it in one of these, okay, because I didn't want anything else to get oily. But I'm a bit excited about that one. So now what I've done is I also have now, you'd be wondering, Paper Woolies bag. Look. I'll just zoom back out. So even that comes up really nice. Okay. So the oil didn't disappoint then. I did do some with lotions, hand cream, and I do believe it was this one. And this was a gift bag. Okay. So it's really nice. It's very pretty actually. I've had that for so long. And this is how it is now. And again, you can just, it's just like cloth, It's quite thick. And anything that's really, really thick, you've actually got to work it really, really slow. And then I experimented gluing two pieces together, which is wrapping paper. It's pretty stuff. Got from the op shop. Let me get rid of that. Otherwise, I'm going to have an accident with my cup of coffee. So I've got a smaller piece here. If you like this little piece, this is a bit of an experiment. So this is, it's like tissue paper, but not really. It's wrapping paper. When I saw that, I grabbed it. So what I did was I glued it to some brown paper bag, and then I kneaded it. I waited for it to dry, of course, and then I kneaded it. And it came out really cool because it's really strong, okay? So then I experimented and made a little pouch. And I just used a little piece of Rick Crack. And what I did was I glued book page onto a sheet of wrapping paper, and I used I didn't use a glue stick. I wanted to make sure it stayed together. I think I used my crafter's glue, and so I let it dry. I didn't use it that day. I used it the next day and started kneading it, and I've made this little pouch out of it. And of course, any accidents with holes, I just patched up with some of the paper up here, here, here. And what I did was I inked it, went over with the ink, popped a little bit of lace on, made a little bow from the same paper, okay, and just popped a little doily at the back and a bit of lace. So that's, that's quite strong. That is really, really strong. So that was my experiment. And this one I actually, got to have a look now. I think, yes, I sewed this one together. with a zigzag stitch. There it is there. Okay? And then turned it inside out. I mean, how cool is that? All right? So that's that. So, you know, if you've got nothing to do, need some paper. And here's some more Woolworths paper. And I just used a single layer, kneaded it and stitched it. Actually, I hand stitched this one. Yes, I did. Hand stitched it. Turned it inside out. That's what that is. Okay. I don't think I put any ink over the top. No. Now this one I did not do with oil. And this one I used hand load. Yeah, just nice. Let me smell. Yeah, I used some smelly hand lotion on this one. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And this one I didn't use any. Okay. Otherwise you'd see the grease and the oil and whatever. Then I tried, well, you've seen the tissue box results, so I don't need to show you that one. Here I used just a tapestry pattern, you know, where you count your stitches and do your cross stitches. I think it was a cross stitch pattern. And I glued that onto a Woolies paper bag, let it dry, and then started working with it. And it came out like that. And even that looks cool, doesn't it? You can use it, you know, as a background to put whatever you want to put on. And then I have this wrapping paper. Okay. As you can see, there it is there. So, and there it is there. I'll just zoom out a bit. And I've actually made a little journal cover out of it. And I've Mod Podged this, matte Mod Podge, just very finely. And I think it'll be all right. And this was a pantyhose box. So I went to the op shop the other day to see if they had any stockings and pantyhoses. I need it for my garden to tie my plants up, and they had two packets. So I kept this one. The other one's pretty well worn, and it had a little window in it. Okay, so I wanted to use that, and I thought, oh, well, that'll make a cute little journal cover. So that's what I did, and I experimented with gluing this onto here. Again, I used a strong glue. I used crafter's glue. And then what I did is, before I Mod Podged, I stamped it. So I don't know whether you can see it. I'll just zoom in. Just here, just a script, like a script stamp. But of course, you know, you can't see it. I haven't experimented it inking and stamping before I need it, because I don't know what the water does to it, or, you know, I only have one permanent ink pad. The others aren't sort of like permanent, but it feels lovely, you know. So I don't know, cute. It's going to be a cute little journal. So that's what that was. And look, you know, it's pretty. I'll do a demo in a minute. Then I've had some painty papers that I did a few years ago, and I did that. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, now this, of course, when you go into YouTube and you put in search area about Momigami paper, you know, this is a very ancient Japanese tradition, and they use ingredients within it to make it strong, so it's fabric then, and they can work with it. And don't ask me the name, how to pronounce this, because between my German and English and Japanese, it's not going to happen. I can never remember it, so you need to Google it or go to YouTube. Here is a paint swatch page, Cabots, that I did as well. And it looks like crackle, doesn't it? I'll just see if I can, yeah. Looks like that you've put crackle something on it. Crackle paste. Okay, and that's the and behind it. And look, I really like that. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And that's the back side of it. Get rid of that. You've seen the Woolies bag. I've made a, there it is again. I made a big version of it. And it does shrink, okay? So, you know, you've got this huge bag and then it shrinks into, yeah, much smaller. So if you want to make a project, allow a lot more paper because it does shrink quite a bit. So that's that. So these are all done now with water. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that now. Oh. Then I use packaging paper. And as you can see, I've already used it, made a bow. Water only. And I don't mean saturating it. I'll give you a demo. Then I use some scrapbook paper. Okay. 12 by 12 inch pad. And I used that. Had a hole, got a bit rough with it. Another hole, got a bit rough with it. But I'm going to use these holes to my advantage. So, my next project. But again, you know, like, water only. And, oh, well, you've seen my, I've got another box now. You've seen my tissue box. And again, and this actually then does want to peel off at the back. And I try to avoid it because it gives it more strength when you want to use it. See? And I actually ink this lightly with a bit of light green ink, like a, forest green. And that's it there. Oh, and here's that paper that I said, the tapestry cross-stitch paper. That's what I used in that last one. Let's see if I can find it. Probably can't now because... Oh, here it is. See? That's what that is. And that's how it turned out. Doesn't that look cool? So, let's do a demo. You can fast forward this video. It might take a few minutes. I have, for the purpose of this video, I used some wrapping paper. And last night I thought, oh no, I've got to do a video. So I've only just started it. And I'll just show you the beginning of how I started. And then we'll continue with this one. So I use this one. This is wrapping paper. Okay. So what I do first is just lightly fold it. You know, you've got to be a little bit gentle in the beginning. And that's all I do. But I like to roll mine. And I don't add water at this stage. And I'll just little squeeze. It might be a bit hard for you guys that have a bit of arthritis, or it might do it good, a little bit of exercise. And then I go around and do the other side, you know, like different directions. You just need different directions. They say to put the corners in so that they don't tear. And you know what? It didn't make any difference to when I did it. But then I was pretty brutal with my hands. It's hard work this, see? I've got to have another bit of coffee. So yeah, so that's that. So that's what you have to do first to make it pliable. Otherwise you will be in the poo because you'll end up tearing it. And then I like to sort of roll it a bit and crinkle it up a little bit without tearing it, which is not a good thing. And I do go through like that again. And as the more you do it, this is good to do in front of a TV, have a little tray on your lap or something. And now I'm just slightly kneading it, just very little. And because I now am getting used to the strength of my hands, you know, and see how, and now I'm sort of starting to just knead it just a little bit, and then out again. It usually takes me maybe 10 minutes, and it's quite relaxing actually. And see how it's torn there because of the crease that was in here. Okay, so that's how it goes. So let's do this one. This is the one I started last night. Oh no, and I did the same thing to this stage. Okay, so what we can do now is I'm just going to be and just okay. Now, as far as water goes, I have a little spritzer here, and all I do is I just go rub it and then just use it on like that. I tried spraying it onto the paper. No, it didn't work. I broke it. I used too much water, and so it's just a spray, and it just helps it just a little bit. So I don't use any more lotions. Let's see how it's starting to come out. Is there a little hole? No holes yet. Okay, and you will feel of how far and how much you want to crease, because you can over crease it because it doesn't have any of those ingredients in to make it look make it strong. But it's shrunken already. See how it's shrunken? Yep, and then just, and if you feel your hands are really dry, that it might affect the paper as far as it's too hard, you can spritz a little bit more. But I tried spritzing it on the paper. Not a good idea, I don't think anyway. So this is my take. It's safer. And there is no chemicals, no oils. I do believe the oil does go rancid after a while. That's what they say. And that's why I only use rice bran oil. And it didn't have much of a smell at all. I can probably leave it out now so that it airs more. And that's all you do. You just got to unwrap it. And you've got to be a bit gentle with it in the beginning. But see how that's changing now? Okay. And see how much it has shrunken already? See? Okay. That's it there. See how much that has shrunken? So it's about a centimetre on both sides. And then once it's pretty pliable, you can just throw it from one end to the other. Now remember, this is only wrapping paper. And, yep, no, yes, I've got my first little hole. So, see, I got a bit rough with it. So to me, that's already done, because you've got that really cool effect. I'll just go in so you can see it better. Wrinkle effect. Okay, so now what I did was, I'm going to give you another demo now. I'm just going to use a small piece of paper. I'll just take this off. I'll use an A4 sheet of paper. Copy paper. I think these are 80 GSM or something. Again, you've just got to be just a little bit careful. And I like to crease just like that. And look, there's really no right or wrong way about it. I mean, it's just creasing paper, but and then I sort of press it in there, unfold it, and that's the whole idea. Fold, refold, fold, knead, unfold. Just got to make sure you don't, because while it's still in its little infant form, you don't want to wreck it. And then I just thought, oh, well, I might just try making a little cylinder, and then you can still squeeze it like that too. And just hope for the best. Now, I didn't use any water. As you can see, this is real time, because I don't know how to edit videos. So what you see is what you get. And it's starting to feel quite, you know, still noisy. Now fast forward this if you don't want to watch all this and me rambling on. That's fine. And you can go over with ink then. And it's, you know, when you think about it, it's another way of making like faux leather, isn't it? This is the gift bag, by the way, yeah. Yeah, it's like making faux leather. Okay. And you just keep going. Hard work this. Need another sip of coffee. See how much that has shrunk already. And it's really soft now. So this one I did not use any water. Because I think if I add water to this, even just a mister spray, it will break. Shall we try one for just for the exercise? Okay. If you were to spray this on here and start kneading it, might not work now. Maybe because I'm softer with my hands, I'm not as rough. And you can still feel the dampness in this. I reckon, yeah, I can feel dampness, so it's still damp. Made a liar of me now, because it tore with when I did them. But then I did that when I started, and my hands were a bit more brutal with the paper. Whereas now I'm actually enjoying working the paper, and I think that's the difference. Learning a bit more about the paper, the structure of it. Just like I just learned the different grains of paper when you fold it. Very relaxing. So, and then of course you can do a little bit of, just going to use this and just see what happens. No, it hasn't, but you know, like, look, it's just like, it's floppy. It's not like, you know. And you can go over it. Coffee dyed paper works well too. And that shows up all your little crinkles. I prefer to do this with the actual pad itself because I find that the brush doesn't pick it up as well. And this is just ink, that one. I'm just going to zoom in. Look. Okay, and you can, and it stretches. Look, can you do it with this? No, but you can do it with this. Okay, look. Now this is going, I think this is going with the grain. Yeah. So, but okay. So there's my little demo. It's gone for about 35 minutes. So fast forward, you know, the parts are a bit boring for you. But yes, how cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my little take on it. You do not need any, my personal opinion, only my personal opinion, you do not need any lotion or any oils, okay? A spritz of water is probably the safest and the cleanest and probably the healthiest, really, because, you know, oil can go rancid. So, and I don't know about lotions and potions, but the one I did with the hand cream wasn't too bad either. So, I mean, yeah, so that's that little booklet I've made with that. You know, and you can just fold it. And I Mod Podge this. It's very, very, okay. And I did the inking before the Mod Podge. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this little video. Let me know of your thoughts. And if you enjoyed it, give me the thumbs up. And like someone said, I should mention it. It'll help my channel. So yeah, so look. Okay, so try it. If you tear it, don't stress, because it will until you get the feel of it, of how you should handle a paper. And but it makes beautiful collage. I'd love to try it in patchwork, like, you know, tear up pieces and make it into a little patchwork thing. Let me know of your thoughts. Until the next video, bye for now.